How do older men meet younger women these days? I could tell you. Without dating apps, our society now puts us in similar age groups, starting with school. Very good. Very good, Thomas. You go to the front of the class. Bravo. Bravo. Wait. Where did it go? This is for Thomas. Thomas, that applause is for you, my friend. You cracked the code. The number one reason why I think, anyways, is, again, we're going back to the hypothesis here about, like, why is it that younger women are getting with older guys, is because they can, because the facilities of the generational walls have been broken down. Thank you for that, because I am going to stop reading super chats for the moment, and then I am going to show you this part of the essay that I was writing. Okay. So I went through this. I'm not going to get to the whole thing, but I do want to get down to the part that you just mentioned. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so this is down towards the end of this essay. By the way, you can get this. If you got it, you have to be a member because it's a paid. It's a sub title. You get the first like half of it for free. But if you go to Substack, if you go and you go to the Substack link that's in my description, you can become a member. Okay, generationalism is tribalism. This is exactly to your point, okay? I was born in 1968. I grew up in the 80s. According to demographers, I am Generation X, and you don't want to fuck with the latchkey kid generation. Gen X is my generational tribe. Of course, everyone hates the boomers. It's a cutesy epithet for Zoomers, Gen Z, to blame whatever degeneracy is trending on Twitter and on the boomers, but most of them don't even know that boomer is short for baby boom generation. Then there are the pensive millennials wedged somewhere between us, the Xers and the boomers. The world never really delivered on what the millennials thought their 2000s college degrees would promise them. These are all the stereotypes we're supposed to acknowledge about our generational tribes. For 60 years, generationalism, I should really just write a whole thing on this. Generationalism has become a socially normalized form of astrology for people. Yeah, just like a Gen Zer just like a Gen Xer to say something like that. We have generational characteristics and personality expectations that aren't too different from astrological signs. Yes, we have shared histories and experienced common events in our formative years, but generationalism has taken on a new kind of tribalism in the social media age. More to your point, brother. Social media has broken down the barriers that used to separate generations and give us an appreciation for them. Today, generations are online tribes. Okay, boomer is the idiot cringe insult used by Zoomers, but online generation is practically meaningless now. I'm 56. Mike Sartain is 46. Sterling Cooper is 36, and half of the girls on Access Vegas are 26. Social media, which negates generational barriers, facilitates the appeal of older men to younger women. Older women attempting to shame Mike for dating his 22-year-old girlfriend or Justin Waller for being in a non-exclusive marriage are employing tactics that made sense in the 20th century, but are obsolete in the 21st century. Gen X men are closer to being the total package to Zoomer women than Zoomer men have a chance to be yet. Thus, we get actor age as an impotent appeal for older men to stop poaching their younger women. Ironically, most of them will never be motivated by the same women to become something more than they are. If they max their potential, older men bring a wealth of experience and a solid frame that younger women would choose over the majority of younger men who sedate themselves into sexless singleness. Women would rather share a successful alpha than be saddled with a faithful beta. And that's how I ended it right there. But that's the generationalism side of the coin that I was bringing up. Now there's more to this. I'll just stop sharing this right now, but you are correct. So how do older men meet younger women? You can almost not help it, right? I mean, can you go on dating apps? Sure you can, but how do they meet them without dating apps? You got to put yourself where they are. I'm about to Thomas, I'll make this announcement right now. On Thursday, on June 13th, Thursday, I will be going to Babes in Toyland, which is going to be at the Academy Center. I forget. Academy is that? I don't know if it's a club, Academy in Los Angeles, in Hollywood. Okay, I will be there. It's a charity thing. I'm going to help Mike once again, like I did at the White Party in Miami. I'll be he's the MC, but I guess I'm the co-host for whatever. But the day before, June 12th is Wednesday, and myself and my partner Joe Marin from Men of Action, we are doing a proof of concept event. You might, if you are on my mailing list, you probably already gotten the email for this. It's an invite. We're limiting it to I think 6 or 8, and we might go over if we get more interest. But we're looking for guys, as I said before, who are interested in going to events like this, but are 45 to 65 years old. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to get you laid with some younger woman. I'm just saying we will be putting guys into situations where they can talk with other guys, but they can also talk with other women and stuff. It's going to be a social thing. It's just again, it's low key, no pressure. We're going to be doing events, and this is just one of many, but we're going to be doing events that are more catered and specific to that demographic. We're calling it the Gentlemen's Club, the MOA, Men of Action Gentlemen's Club. And it is specifically for the demographic of 45 to 65 years old. Now, if you're older, like 70, okay, we can help you out. You can come play too. If you're 40, okay, we might bend it a little bit. But the reason why we chose 45 to 65 is because of a few reasons. One, 45 is the average age of first divorce for most guys. So if you're looking at gray divorce guys, it's usually between 45 and 65, but it's right for average age. And this is, thank you, Jim Sexton, for making me aware of this. Average age of first divorce is 45 years old for men. So a lot of these guys are coming out of divorces. They're coming out of in some cases, sexless marriages. They're reintegrating themselves back into the sexual marketplace. And maybe not unlike Thomas here, they don't know where to socialize. They don't know where to go. They don't know where to fish where the fish are, right? So part of the Gentlemen's Club, the MOA Gentlemen's Club, is going to be facilitating that, but in environments that aren't like Zouk or Hakkasan or like these big loud pulsing house beat music kind of stuff. Like, I think one of the number one complaints that I've heard from guys when they have to, go out to club, you shouldn't go meet women in clubs. Yeah, you can. There's nothing wrong with meeting women in clubs. The problem is like, if you're an older guy, one, you're at a disadvantage. Two, you can't even fucking hear each other. You can't have a conversation. You can't run game if you can't physically hear each other. So we're trying to find ways, myself and Joe, to cater to the specifics of that particular demographic, 45 to 65 years old. The other reason is because that is also the prime demographic of men self-deletion. Okay. Men commit self-deletion at 4 times the rate of women. Some even say 5, but let's just say round it out, 4 times the rate. When men come out of a divorce, they are 8 times more likely to self-delete as a result of that divorce or what they're going through, because they lack the social networks. They lack any base of support. Women, on the other hand, have a lot of support. I'm not saying we're going to be that for you, but we're going to give it a try. We're going to at least put you in the right situations and help you reintegrate yourself back into the sexual marketplace. And one of the ways we're doing that is with special events, like a charity event like Babes in Toyland. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to go home with a fucking 10 supermodel, but you're going to be around other guys who are in your same demographic. Well, we got a table already reserved. And we're going to have, let's see, on the 12th, we're going to be meeting up at, I think it's the Hyatt Thompson. And anyways, it's on the Strip in Hollywood. And you'll get about 3 hours with me. Joe's got something lined up for you guys too. And it's just going to be like hanging out, quite Q&A. I want to be able to sort of cater to the specifics of the guys who are involved. You got to find your own accommodations. The Thompson's a really great place. Trying to get someplace close. Now you're probably thinking, oh, I wish I would have known this sooner. Okay, well, if you're part of my email list, you're going to get the invite for this. Maybe you already have, but as Thomas is saying right here, our society now puts us in similar age groups, starting with school. Yeah, okay. Well, that's sort of like demographic peer sort of segregation. Now, the great equalizer is online. So when I'm talking to the girls on Access Vegas, now I'm a special case. I get it, right? I'm a unicorn here. But when I am working with Mike, when I'm at Babes in Toyland, when I'm doing Access Vegas, hell, when I'm just like walking through a club at downtown, I don't think of myself as being 56 years old. I deal with guys who are, like I said, 46, 36, Sterling Cooper. The girls might be 26. I think the youngest girl we've had on the show has been like something like 21. I'm pretty sure she's 21. Yeah, of course, Maya, so my favorite, Maya Sofield, 21 years old. And I can carry on. We're still really good friends. Like I talk to her all the time. Like it's like, there's nothing weird about it. She happens to like the same kind of music I like, right? But I think that this sort of like generational divisions are really something that is eliminated in an online sense. And I think that's something that we don't really fully appreciate these days, because like, I understand physically I'm 56 years old, but mentally I'm not 56 years old. Right. Or I shouldn't say that. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about like, oh, well, let me impart some worldly wisdom, since I'm the old guy and you're the young buck. And I'm going to tell you, so here's what you ought to do, Johnny. Respect for your elders is like, that's 20th century thinking. Actually, even before that, no one respects their elders anymore. No, in fact, if anything, they'd say, "Go fuck off, old man. You're a grandpa." That shit. It's elderly disrespect right now, and it's funny as fuck. I will say it is. I enjoy it just as much as anybody else does, right? But there was a time where there's this sort of respect for, like, respect your elders. Maybe it's a cultural thing, maybe it's an ethnic thing too, but I think that's like gone in the 21st century online social media world. So you could be talking to somebody online, if they've got an avatar. I don't know how old 90% of the people in the chat are right now, because I can't tell by your avatar, because it might not even be you. But I can still talk to you. When people say, "Hey, do you like what army is that you're playing right there?" And so I can talk about Warhammer 40,000. I might be talking to a kid who's 19, or a guy who's like older than me, because it's been around for a while. We just have a mutual shared interest in the hobby, right? I'll end with this. Okay. Prior to Access Vegas, of this, like when we were warming up for the show and we're doing show prep, we were having this conversation with the techs at Sticky Paws Studios. And Mike was saying that the anniversary of OJ Simpson driving away, or his high speed chase when he was in the white Bronco and trying to get away from the cops, and he got arrested, and Rosie Greer went and saw him in jail and stuff like that. Me and Mike know this because we were alive. We were there when it was happening. It was like 93, something like that. And so we were there live in real time when it was happening. Now, granted, remember, I was probably in my 20s. I would have put Mike in his teens when all that went down. But we understand. Like we're close enough in age where we both saw the TV feed when OJ's driving the white Bronco, and all the guys who are the techs in Sticky Paws, they're maybe their early 20s. They're like, "What the fuck are you talking? What? OJ? Who's OJ? White Bronco?" They might know OJ because he just passed away recently. Who? What? Like, they had no idea. And it was at that point I'm looking at Mike and I go, Oh, okay. So maybe there's an instance where like we know something because we're older, as opposed to people who just don't have that experience, right? Which is why I'm amazed by people like say like Maya, right, who likes 80s metal. How the fuck do you like 80s metal? You're 22 years old. Shouldn't you be like into like, I don't know, Drake? Nope, she likes Def Leppard, right? Because her parents were, you know, into that music too. So she has that. So oddly enough, but now she can relate with me. And I think that that generational divide between Zoomers and millennials and boomers and Xers and whatever else, I think that a lot of that is, like I said, I think it's a different form of astrology. Oh, you're a boomer? You're like this. Oh, you're a Gen X? I better stay away from you. You guys, was it Gen X? We were 30 when we were 15, and we're 30 when we're 50. Like but it's like saying, well, I'm an Aries, so this is my personality. I think that the older we get, or the more we move into sort of like social media, and we become even more interconnected, whatever the next app is, whatever the new social media craze is, whatever the new technology happens, that sort of, at least in some way, like God knows how, makes us that much more connected. Then how does that affect like generationalism? I think right now it's more like a generational tribe. I'm Generation X. So is Aaron Clary. Yeah, fuck these guys. We're Xers, right? It doesn't make any difference, quite honestly. So I think the more we move on into sort of like the next, the middle of this decade or the middle of this century right now, I think the more we get connected, the less generation is going to make all that much of a difference.